this video, we are going to learn carbon cycle and concepts like carbon sequestration, carbon credit, and carbon offsetting. So carbon makes up around 0.038% of atmosphere as CO2 gas. Global movement of carbon between organism and abiotic environment is known as carbon cycle. So atmospheric carbon dioxide is removed from air and is fixed into plants by the process of photosynthesis. Now this carbon which is captured by plant is transferred to the subsequent organism in food chain. So plants are consumed by herbivores. Herbivores are further consumed by carnivore. In this way, carbon gets circulated in terrestrial food chain. So all plants and animals are thereby able to use carbon for synthesis of protein, carbohydrates, and other biomolecules. So on one hand, photosynthesis is the process to capture CO2. On the other hand, there is another process which is known as respiration, by which CO2 is released back into the atmosphere. So animals undergo respiration and release CO2 back in the environment. After death and decay of plants, animals like herbivore, carnivore, finally organic matter is formed. Now this organic matter adds to the carbon pool in soil. This soil carbon pool gets converted into coal and oil. Burning of coal, petrol, oil through artificial sources like industries or vehicle release CO2 back in the environment. Not only artificial sources but even natural sources contribute to CO2. So natural sources, for example volcanic eruption, release CO2 back in the environment. Now carbon is also essential component even for aquatic life form. But aquatic life form cannot use CO2 in the form of gas. So carbon dioxide first gets dissolved in aquatic water. So CO2 first dissolve with water of oceans and a new compound carbonic acid is formed. This carbonic acid further create substances like bicarbonates and carbonates in aquatic ecosystem. So bicarbonates and carbonates are the compounds which are consumed by aquatic plants, for example algae. From algae, carbon is then subsequently transferred to other organisms like fishes. Carbonates and bicarbonates are also important constituent in the formation of shells or hardy part of corals and fish. So after death of marine organism, carbonates are again deposited in the bottom of ocean. In fact, the amount of carbonates which is released after death and decay of aquatic and marine plants or animal is so high that carbon main sink is considered to be ocean. So ocean is the largest carbon sink for the carbon cycle. So this is how carbon cycle operate. At present, carbon cycle is facing a major shift or an imbalance. Now large scale cutting down of trees has disrupted the process of photosynthesis. There is not enough carbon sink available today in the world and thereby high CO2 is present in environment. Moreover, industrial emissions and vehicular emission of CO2 due to burning of coal, petrol is also rapidly increasing atmospheric carbon dioxide. So the point is that CO2 in atmosphere is extremely high. CO2 concentration has already crossed 400 ppm mark and is now at dangerous limit. High CO2 along with other gases like nitrous oxide, methane, chlorofluorocarbon contribute to enhanced greenhouse effect in which solar radiations are trapped within troposphere. Now this results in heating of earth. Temperature of our planet becomes extremely high. Now temperature of earth is increasing every day. In fact, according to the latest report of IPCC 2021, global average earth temperature would reach to 1.5 degrees Celsius by 2040, even if we start reducing CO2 now. Now this should serve as a wake-up call for everyone who is contributing to carbon dioxide. Global warming results in changes in climatic phenomena. Already it has been noticed that climate change has converted peaceful Arabian Sea into hotbed of cyclone. It is climate change which is responsible for turning skies of Europe and America into red due to wild forest fire. It is climate change which is melting down glaciers and causing devastating flood. Recently, climate change has roasted countries like Europe and Canada with record-smashing heat waves. So in such condition, it is really important to check ways by which we can control climate change. Now, climate change is one problem associated with very high amount of CO2. Now another issue is that this high atmospheric carbon dioxide can also cause phenomena of ocean acidification. So this high CO2 react with ocean water and form extremely high amount of carbonic acid and carbonates. Now this is dangerous. If carbonic acid is present in very high amount, then it reduces the amount of carbonates formed in water. And we all know that carbonates are important for the formation of shells and other body part of aquatic organism. But due to ocean acidification, the formation of hard part or shells in aquatic organism would be affected. This is known as ocean acidification, a process in which high CO2 dissolve in ocean water and add to the acidity of ocean, which could be having a very harmful effect on aquatic life form. Now in such climate extremes and climate adversity, it is important to realize the fact that each one of us is responsible for adding CO2 in atmosphere through our actions. Carbon footprint is the term which is used for total greenhouse gases including CO2, methane, which is released in atmosphere by us. For example, commuting by aeroplane add more CO2 as compared to bicycle. So we need to find ways to reduce carbon footprint. And for this, we need to analyze how much is our carbon footprint. We have to make right choices like resorting to renewable energy, eating locally produced food, switching to public transport, etc. It is high time that these carbon footprints are reduced to bare minimum. Carbon dioxide mitigation strategies include methods by which we can reduce carbon emissions to zero. So, to reduce carbon emissions to zero, we can use following ways. First, carbon sequestration. Second, carbon offset. Third, carbon credit. Fourth, carbon trading. And fifth, geoengineering. Let us discuss first carbon sequestration. So carbon sequestration is a method by which atmospheric carbon dioxide is captured into sink like ocean or underground. Carbon sequestration describes long-term storage of CO2 to defer global warming. First method is ocean sequestration. So in this method, atmospheric carbon dioxide is trapped in ocean. Now for this, ships are used which spray CO2 uniformly in ocean and then inject it at ocean bottom with the help of pipeline. Second method is terrestrial sequestration. Terrestrial sequestration means removal of atmospheric carbon dioxide by trapping CO2 in plants. Now plants, green vegetation, forests, they are actually the natural sink for carbon dioxide because plants undergo photosynthesis. And if this is the case, then process is known as terrestrial sequestration. Now here, if forests are used for trapping CO2, then it is also known as a green carbon. On the other hand, even aquatic plants like sea grasses can be used for trapping CO2 and we call it as blue carbon. In fact, government is doing considerable work to increase this blue carbon. That means trapping of CO2 with the help of aquatic organisms. So for this purpose, aquatic plants all across coastal region and aquatic region are being restored back. Further, third process of carbon sequestration is known as geological sequestration. This third method of geological sequestration is the method in which we capture carbon and put it in rock or minerals. So first method within geological sequestration is hydrodynamic trapping, in which CO2 is trapped in rock. Second method is solubility trapping, in which CO2 is dissolved in liquid like water or oil. Third method is mineral trapping, in which CO2 react with minerals to form stable compounds like calcium carbonate or magnesium carbonate. While carbon sequestration is one method to remove atmospheric CO2, second method to remove atmospheric CO2 is carbon offsetting. CO2 can be mitigated by carbon offsetting, and it is also the fast method to achieve deepest reduction within businesses. So carbon offset means a company which is creating pollution at one site is also investing in projects which are helpful in removal of CO2 on other location. So in this way, a balance is maintained. Emissions which are produced at one site are negated through emissions which are reduced by the process of offsetting. Let us understand it. Zomato is the food delivering company in India. So Zomato is using large number of vehicles for delivering food at doorstep. In this way, carbon dioxide contribution of Zomato is very high. But to negate this carbon dioxide, Zomato is also investing in the projects at another location. And these projects are renewable projects, and thereby they help in reducing CO2. So this is the method of carbon offsetting. Third method to mitigate carbon emission is known as carbon credits. Carbon credit is the tradable certificate or permit which represent right to emit 1 ton of CO2. So 1 carbon credit is equal to 1 ton CO2. Rio Conference, which is also known as Earth Summit 1992, was the conference in which the guideline of sustainable development was laid down. Now in this conference, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change was formulated to reduce climate change. UNFCCC, that is United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, has conceptualized Kyoto Protocol in 1997. Now within Kyoto Protocol, concept of carbon credit has been mentioned as a mechanism to reduce CO2 emission. Now let us try to understand carbon credit. Let's say there are two industries, Industry A and Industry B. Both industries are emitting carbon dioxide. But in Kyoto Protocol, there is a cap or limit to which a company can produce emission. This limit is also known as cap on emission. So if we now look closely, Industry A is emitting less pollution, Industry B is releasing more emission in the environment. So we should try to avoid Industry A. But how? So that is done through carbon credit. Industry A will get carbon credit for making less emissions in the environment. These carbon credits can be sold off to another company which is polluting, and Industry B in this case is likely to purchase carbon credit from Industry A in order to compensate the high carbon emissions that they are producing in the environment. Now these carbon credits, they are traded on exchange market. For example, in India, we have India's multi-commodity exchange market. So carbon credit is one strategy to mitigate carbon dioxide, and it is also formulated under Kyoto Protocol. Next method to mitigate carbon dioxide is known as carbon tax. Now carbon tax is basically a method to impose fine or tax on goods which are having very high carbon footprint. Now recently America and European Union have discussed possibility of imposing border carbon tax on goods which are imported from countries like India. Now India at present is opposing carbon tax because it can cause disruption in global trading system. Border carbon tax will also possibly increase the price of Indian good in European market and will shrink the demand of Indian products. Moreover, border carbon tax will affect steel industry and fertilizer industry which have very high carbon footprint. So carbon tax is one way by which CO2 can be reduced. The last method to reduce carbon dioxide emission is geoengineering. Geoengineering is actually a theoretical concept right now, and in this concept there are different ways which have been proposed to modify and cool Earth's environment. For example, geoengineering suggests placing a mirror between planet and sun to deflect sunlight. Geoengineering also suggests a way to add iron in ocean in order to increase algae and plant growth. Algae and plant will capture high amount of CO2, and this way CO2 would be mitigated from environment. Third strategy which has been proposed under geoengineering is to use clouds. Clouds are whitewashed with the help of seawater, and then these clouds would not be allowing penetration of sunlight. In fact, sunlight would be deflected from them. This is known as cloud whitening. And geoengineering also suggests creating artificial trees which would capture carbon by absorbent resin. So geoengineering include theoretical concepts which would be too costly and their potential feasibility is yet to be assessed. So these are the ways by which we can mitigate carbon dioxide from atmosphere. Let us solve few questions. Consider the following: photosynthesis, respiration, decay of organic matter, volcanic action. Which of the above add carbon dioxide to carbon cycle on Earth? Now we all know that photosynthesis is the process which absorbs CO2. Respiration release CO2 back in the environment. Same way volcano and organic matter decay release CO2 in the environment. So apart from photosynthesis, respiration, decay of organic matter, volcanic action, these all contribute to adding CO2 to the environment. So the right answer is 2, 3, 4. Regarding carbon credits, which one of the following statement is not correct? So let's see first statement. The carbon credit system was ratified in conjugation with Kyoto Protocol. So this is true. In fact, in Kyoto Protocol, one of the mechanism for reducing CO2 is carbon credit, in which the company which is releasing less emission would be benefited with the help of carbon credit. Second, carbon credits are awarded to countries or groups that have reduced greenhouse gases below their emission quota. So this is definitely true. The company or industry which is having less emission is given benefit in terms of carbon credit. Third, goal of carbon credit is to limit the increase of carbon emission quota. So this is also valid. So whole mechanism of carbon credit is based on controlling carbon emissions. And the last is carbon credits are traded at a price fixed from time to time by United Nations Environment Program. Now this is not correct because UNEP has no role to fix the price. In fact, the carbon credit prices are fixed in exchange market. For example, multi-commodity exchange market of India. So only option which is not correct is D. So D is the right answer. Let's see next question. Consider the following: carbon dioxide, oxides of nitrogen, oxides of sulfur. Which of the above are emissions from coal combustion? Now remember this, that coal is carbon, but it also has impurity of nitrogen and sulfur in it. So coal combustion release carbon dioxide, oxides of nitrogen as well as oxides of sulfur. So the right answer is D. Next question is, the increasing amount of carbon dioxide in air is slowly raising the temperature of atmosphere because it absorbs. So remember this, carbon dioxide and greenhouse gas absorb infrared radiations again and again, and thereby heating take place. So though solar energy include large number of heat radiations, solar energy is basically high energy radiations with shorter wavelength, but when they are reflected back from Earth's surface, then only infrared portion of it is absorbed by greenhouse gases. So the correct answer is D. Next question is, acidification of ocean is increasing. Why is this phenomena a cause of concern? Now let's see this picture. Ocean acidification means high amount of acid, that is carbonic acid, present in ocean water, and due to high CO2. So high CO2 mix with ocean water and contribute to carbonic acid. Now if carbonic acid is high, carbonates become very low. And if carbonates are low, organisms which are present in water will not be able to synthesize their body shells and hardy part, and their growth and development would be affected. Moreover, acid itself is harmful for aquatic organisms. So let us see what are the options. First, the growth and survival of calcareous phytoplankton will be adversely affected. So this is true because the calcium deposit will be less in presence of carbonic acid. Second, growth and survival of coral reef will be adversely affected. So this is again true because carbonates will not be available in presence of high amount of carbonic acid, and thereby coral reefs will be affected. Third, survival of all animals that have phytoplankton larvae would be adversely affected. So plants which are very small and free floating on the surface of ocean, they will be affected, and so the animals will also be affected which are dependent on these plants. So as a whole, we can say all organism of aquatic area would be affected. Fourth, cloud seeding and formation of clouds will be adversely affected. So this is not true. Formation of cloud is not related to the phenomena of ocean acidification. So in this, which is correct? So first, second, third are correct, and fourth is incorrect. So first, second, third, that means option A is correct. Next question is, in the context of mitigating global warming due to anthropogenic emission of carbon dioxide, which of the following can be potential site for carbon sequestration? Now remember this, carbon sequestration means ocean sequestration, in which we absorb CO2 in ocean, terrestrial sequestration, in which we absorb CO2 in plants, and geological sequestration, in which CO2 is captured in earth. So first option is abundant and uneconomical coal seams. So this is correct. Abundant sites or any place on earth's surface can be used for trapping CO2. Second, depleted oil and gas reservoir. So we can trap CO2 in depleted oil and gas reservoir. In fact, it is also known as solubility trapping within geological sequestration. Third, subterranean deep saline formation. So this is also correct. Deep saline formation can be used as a strategy of soluble trapping within geological sequestration. So all these three methods can be used for carbon sequestration, and thereby the option D is correct. Next question is, which of the following statement best describe carbon fertilization? Now remember this, that due to anthropogenic activity, CO2 is very high in environment. We know this fact. CO2 is a greenhouse gas which causes global warming. But at the same time, CO2 is also the food for plant. Plant undergo photosynthesis by capturing CO2. Now it has been observed that in presence of very high amount of CO2, growth of plant become extremely high. So this phenomena is known as carbon fertilization. So carbon fertilization means increased plant growth due to increased concentration of carbon dioxide in atmosphere. This is correct. Second option is increased temperature of earth due to high CO2 in environment. Now this phenomena is known as global warming. It is not known as carbon fertilization. Third option is increased acidity of ocean as a result of increased concentration of CO2. Now if CO2 is high, then acidity of ocean becomes high, but this phenomena is known as ocean acidification. It is not known as carbon fertilization. D option is adaptation of all living beings on earth to climate change brought about by increased concentration of CO2. So yes, when CO2 is high, adaptive mechanisms do operate in living being, but this is not related to carbon fertilization. So the correct answer for this question is A. Carbon fertilization is increased plant growth due to increased concentration of CO2 in the environment. So with this, we have completed carbon cycle, carbon mitigation, concepts like carbon credit, carbon tax, carbon sequestration. Thank you.